Hey guys, so unfortunately my phone's storage paused that video, so I have to do it again, which is really annoying. So this is book 5, basically, no, book 6 I should say, and it's all 5 books in one of the Toxic Love series, and it shows the relationship from the first book, which is Love and Orphan. Chloe and Darcy Totterdale are in care, and Chloe meets Tyrone Windass, and they start a relationship, and Tyrone doesn't tell Chloe his real age, so Chloe thinks that he is the same age as her, which is 11, but it turns out that he is 17, and when Chloe finds out, she dumps him, and meanwhile, in between all of that, Chloe and Darcy fall out because Darcy doesn't like Tyrone, because Darcy does warn Chloe about it and doesn't like Tyrone from the start, and Chloe doesn't listen. She is stubborn and she doesn't listen, so she ends up finding out the truth for herself and dumps Tyrone. Flash forward 10 years, they're married because Tyrone manipulated Chloe and manipulated her into thinking that Tyrone never got over her and he is still in love with her and he is going to treat her like a princess and they're going to live a fairy tale, and she is going to be really happy, but that's the opposite, and Chloe lives a nightmare, and Tyrone is abusive and hits her and beats her and horrible, just nasty things, and Chloe starts an affair with her doctor, which is Marco Gilmore, and this is because Chloe ends up finding out that she's pregnant with Tyrone's baby, and obviously Darcy has been cut off since they got married because Tyrone and Darcy don't like each other. And Chloe hasn't seen or heard from her sister in 10 years. And when Chloe finds out she's pregnant with Tyrone's baby, she panics and desperately calls Darcy and tells her that she is up the duff and pregnant. And the affair with Marco Gilmore starts, and he actually helps her leave Tyrone. Tyrone tells Chloe to abort the baby, and she doesn't, and there's consequences and punishments and everything like that, everything nasty you could think of, and it was really hard for me to write that book because I've been there and I've been through that, so I wanted to write that book purely because I wanted to raise awareness, because it's not too late to leave. I'm now in a loving relationship with my partner Eden, who shows me nothing but love every single day, treats me like the absolute queen that I am, and buys me flowers, buys me teddies, buys me anything you could think of, and yeah, so it is not too late, obviously, honestly, it is not too late, and yeah, so book 3 is the return of the ex. So Tyrone went to prison for the abuse on Chloe, and obviously he escapes prison and knocks Chloe out, and Chloe's in hospital, and so the wedding of Marco and Chloe, that's a really happy book. So Marco and Chloe finally get married, and Chloe is on good terms with Ty, because of her daughter Harper, and they invite Ty to the wedding, and Chloe finds out all these horrible, nasty secrets about Tyrone before the wedding, and it's not good. And book 5 is I Want a Happy Ending, and it sees the last chapter of Chloe and Tyrone. You would think that, wouldn't you? And it sees that Chloe is pregnant again with her second child, and her first with Marco, even though Marco has adopted Harper. And she finally cuts off Tyrone completely, and there is no contact whatsoever because he's just nasty. So yeah. So that is that one. This is Heartbroken, which I wrote in 2016 and finished in June 2017. It is an old manuscript and an old book, so I published this in 2021. And as you can see, there's a new cover. It's pink, because the old versions, I didn't know how to change this bit to a different colour back then. So all my old versions are in storage and they're black and boring. They're in my bedroom in a box, by the way. So this is book 2, and it flash forwards 15 years where Ava is a mum of 2. She's married to Mason and she returns to Misselthwaite Manor. And yeah, with her 2 kids and Mason. So this is book 3, where Ava and Mason are still happily married. Mason screws it up by having an affair, and Ava investigates and then kicks Mason out and everything like that. It's all a big drama, and I loved writing this book. I wrote this book in 2021, and obviously you can see there's a different cover and it's pink, and yeah, so yeah. See, this is the book that I was actually on when it paused. So this is my 2013 book that I did in 2013. I was in school, and Tess is always left in charge of babysitting her little brother Max, and he gets help making a nightmare of his sister's life by playing pranks on her and her friends, and will she get her happy ever after? Who knows? Let's hope so. This is book 2 of Tess's collection. So the series is called Tess's Collection, and this is book 2. And this sees that Tess is now 18 years old, and she gets an offer to live in a palace, but doesn't realise that it has many secrets. There's 2 ghosts living there, and they're called Harriet and Robert. And she finds out about her mother's past. She meets her uncle and cousins and her dad's parents, her big sister and her niece that she didn't know she had. She gets into a relationship, turns 19 years old, gets engaged to the handsome stranger that is her dashing handsome husband, Mason. She falls in love with Mason, obviously. Sees old friends and flames from back home, which is Meg and Grace. I think Ben makes an appearance in this one, which is Max's best friend. And she gets pregnant, has a baby girl, gets married, has an operation, ends up in hospital, rekindles her relationship with her parents and her younger brother, comes to stay. Will she get the happy ever after she's always wanted and live happily ever after like she deserves? So this one I released last year in November. And Mackenzie and Jack Kennedy are high school sweethearts and they get married. And Mackenzie starts having symptoms of starts having symptoms, and she goes to the doctors. She hasn't seen her parents for 20 years, and she just so happens to find out that she's got no neurofibromatosis type 1 since birth, and nobody told her. So this is a box set of The Bear That Came From Japan. So this has all 7 books inside, and it's pink. Oh, don't be knocked on the floor, please. So this is book 2 of the prequel. That the POV is Sophie, which is Maddie's mum, and it is set in the 1930s, the late 1930s, and World War One, around World War One, and for the girls' safety, Elizabeth and Jimmy tell the girls they're going on holiday, but they are actually getting evicted from Glasgow. But Sophie is thrilled about this because her beloved teddy bear, Bella, has gone missing. Will Sophie be able to find her teddy bear? So, I released this book last year in August, and August 2nd actually, and it is connected to Fight For Me, which raises awareness for multiple sclerosis, and it's the LGBTQ community, and River and Barbara are now in a relationship, and before her 16th birthday, River and Barbara's life turned upside down after they both decided to become a couple. They face many different challenges and obstacles as a couple, fighting for each other, loving each other, until River's mum, Izzy, is on the scene again. She left River and her dad, Edward, when River was 4 years old, and she came back into her life when she was 14, but left again when River found out she had multiple sclerosis with a lot of other problems, and came out as gay, and finally admitted her love for her best friend Barbara. River's dad and Barbara's mum have a secret they have been hiding, but will River and Barbara find out? Now this book, that is the next one, is actually coming out in August. So you've not got long to wait to find out who that mystery person is that they've been hiding. So this is book 5 of the box set that I just showed you. This is book 1 of the box set. Book 2 book 3, and book 4. Book 5, book 6, and book 7 of the book set. I want to try and put it in a tower, and it won't go on the floor, but I'm hoping it won't go on the floor. Oh yes, so I didn't show you this one because the hardback isn't coming until tomorrow. So I've got the paperback one, and Ava is back. She's finally happy with her husband Mason and their 2 daughters, Donna and Denise. Donna is happy and finally settled back into Misselthwaite Manor now that they've moved there permanently, and has made plenty of friends and has a boyfriend. Ava is finally getting there and trying to get over the trauma of her adopted parents, Mason and Sabrina, caused. And when Sabrina comes to visit with Olivia, she is hiding something. So Ava investigates. So this is a standalone, and this is about found family. And Lily has always hated her birthday, but has always wanted to feel like she belonged somewhere, and has always wanted a family. When her parents are in a car accident and pass away, she and her brother Jeffrey are put into care, and she decides to track down her old foster parents and where she used to live. But she ends up discovering that she has an older sister called Sophia instead. Oh my god, I'm really nervous of this tower now. Oh, see, I told you, it's gonna fall. And preferably on me, and it did. And now the hard drive is come out. And I haven't even touched the hard drive. This is the thing. I get so annoyed with the hard drive. It's so sensitive. I'll put them down here. Sorry about that, guys. I mean, I'm okay, but oh my god, now the mouse has come out. Well, not really, but the... what am I doing? I don't want to do that. Excuse me. So I've muted the music video. So this is the book that I was telling you about, and it's my 80th book, and it shows that Maddie is all grown up. She's got 2 kids of her own, and one day Maddie decides to read the story she made up with her dad Michael all those years ago to her daughter Rhiannon. See, the hard drive splashing now, so it will turn up. So this is Casey, and it's book 1, it's book 2, it's book 2 of A Princess Tale. So Casey Baker is back, and 15 years have passed, and she is now 25, living in the sea, and it has been years since she last saw her dad after disowning him because he sent her to Princess boarding school, not accepting her tale. But she is getting married to a merman, which is called Dwayne. Will she make peace with her dad before the big day? So I brought back a character from 2010, which explains the 15 years. So this is the book that I was saying when I showed you the box set. And yeah, so this is the last book of Toxic Love. So these are just paperbacks of the same ones. So this is Bella and Buddy, and it's still in the POV of Sophie. And this time Elizabeth's past comes back to haunt her when she is reunited with her old teddy bear from her childhood, and secrets from her childhood are revealed when her dad turns up out of the blue. Sophie, who has just turned 11 years old, realizes that she doesn't know anything about her mum at all. And then this is book 2, which I showed you the hardback for. So that is all the books that I've got on my shelf. Like I said before, all the old version books are in storage in a box in my bedroom, and they're black and boring, so I'm not going to show you them because they're in a box and it's hard to get the box because it's all my teddies are on top of the box. So yeah, I don't want to mess that teddy bear, collection that I've got going. I don't actually know how many teddies I've got, but yeah, I want to count them one day. But I might need my partner's help for that. So, but I can't believe that I have written and released 80 books in the last 15 years. And it's 16 years in, I think, 3 weeks maybe. Possibly 3 weeks. So it is the 24th today. Oh, this calendar is annoying. So it's the 24th today, which means it's actually it's actually 3 weeks and a day. So it's on a Monday, the 23rd. So 3 weeks to go until my 16th year anniversary of writing. There will be a video to celebrate that milestone. And yeah, so I just thought I'd show you all my books that I have done. Obviously I've done a lot more than that, and obviously no, I can't get them out because, like I said, but yeah, they're black and boring, and they're not as colourful as these ones. So yeah. I just can't believe they fell on top of me. Like, really? You could have just not done that. You could have just gone that way. and then they would be ruined. So I'm glad they fell on top of me though. But yeah, that was like really not good. I will see you soon for another video. This is gonna be my last video for the day actually. So yeah, you'll be like, yay. No, I'm joking. But yeah, so I'm gonna go, and I hope you have a good rest of the day, and I shall see you soon.